Welcome back. This week I'm going to show you what I did to build out this kitchenette into a very rustic, it's kind of an outdoor kitchen, kind of an inside kitchen, but I used pallet wood and all kinds of interesting objects to make this unique. Stay tuned. So basically it was an empty shell framed, and the outside is T111 that I had just painted red, if you saw my last video, and matching the rest of the colors on the outside. You've been looking at two photos that I took after I did the wall, one wall. Well, actually it looks like I did two walls, front and the back. The front has a window on it, which you can see better in the left image, and that those things swing up. They were taken off because we stained those and did some work. I did stain around the frame of the window. You can see that's done in walnut. But mainly we used, my friend Jill came up and helped me, we used pallet wood. So we had to go get the pallet wood, which was a real treat. And then we had to take it all apart, which was another treat. I used a chainsaw and a metal sawzall blade and sawzall to cut away the nails. So it was a challenge to do all. It was a lot of work. I mean, it wasn't hard to do mentally, but it was a lot of work. So once we did that, we piled everything up and we organized things according to length and width. We didn't care too much about the depth, front to back thickness of the boards. It's irregular, so we were fine with the difference in depth. As you can see in the photographs, we varied the width, or top to bottom, of the boards, and we carried that all the way through across from one side to the other, and got some flooring underneath where the counter will be. It's in the left image at the bottom part. You'll see that that's flooring, and we varied that also. That didn't fit together perfectly, but it didn't matter because it's going to be under the counter. And these are the pile of the ends, the supports, and I may need those for something else, so I'm just keeping this pile here for a later date. Jill and I were doing some hunting around. We found this window at a Habitat for Humanity and got a really good price. I think I paid $10 for it. It took a lot of work to get this thing off. It was so heavy, and we had to get the frame off, but we bought it as is because I thought I might be able to use the wood around the outside, it being old. I don't know how old it is, but anyway, it was heavy, and Jill was nursing a bad foot, and so we kind of struggled with getting this heavy thing into the truck, but we managed to do that. Slide it over again, and I'm taking a video to send to her.
Okay. This thing is really ugly.
So we would take the frame around this and just use the two sashes, that sash and that sash, and put in between. Well,
Okay,
we could probably use that slider and oil it. But they're really cute. We like them with those little mullions. So this was a 2x3 window. I framed it up, and then I installed it and leveled it all off, and that's pretty basic, not a difficult thing to do. And anyway, once that was installed, I sealed the outside part of it with a silicone caulk after I screwed the frame into the outside wall. After a few days of redundant behavior, measuring, cutting, nailing in place, the interior was finished. Here is a partly finished process of adding waterproof flooring. So this is one full wall of pallet wood. I did canvas on the roof. I added that window over there. I put pallet wood on this wall, all 4 walls, pallet wood. These windows flip up and attach just temporarily with these things. I'm going to make something nicer up there. But this flips upward and then just locks in place. I hooked up that track lighting. I got to adjust those a little bit, but it's nice. This is about 37 inches high, this shelving unit. I got another shelving unit down there for a few things, but I'm leaving this open. Got a refrigerator in here. I'm going to put a microwave in here. Deciding whether or not I want to put this sink here. It hangs over about, I don't know, 3.5 inches. I like the idea of water in here, so that's to be decided. These are going to be stained walnut. I'm about to do that now. I also added a threshold down there. I'll stain that walnut also. The next part was doing the ceiling, and we debated between metal, rustic metal, and canvas. And because we had to travel a long distance to get the metal, we ended up with canvas. The metal definitely would have looked cool. A little dirty for a kitchen, but it would look cool. The way I put this pallet wood up is I cut it all off of the original pallets with a chainsaw on the ends, and then where the nails were, I either tried to pry them off, and if I couldn't, I used a Sawzall behind them. And then I just left the nails in and I left in the cracks. But note that some are wide, some are narrow, some are even more narrow. And I stuck with that thickness all the way across. So thick, thin, medium, thick, all the way up. I did that. That edging up there, that will be fixed also. I don't know, I might put a little piece of wood across there, or I don't know, do something, get rid of the material. It was just canvas that I used on the ceiling. And here you can see that I stained the legs for the countertops a dark walnut. I didn't even bother wiping it down like I did wipe down the threshold there, but I used the same stain. This is a copper bowl, and this is what I'm going to use in the kitchenette. And I'm going to start drilling it with this, which is I think that's about 1.5 inches at the wide end. So I don't know what kind of piping I'm going to use. I've got this stuff over here. I think this, I don't know if that'll be wide enough. I'll have to see if it'll work or not. I'm going to end this video here since it takes so long to make this. I will put up a final photograph or video when it's all completed. The next project is this utility room. There is a dryer and a washer over there. Obviously everything's been taken out. We took off these really crappy walls that were here. I'll probably do canvas on the ceiling, same as I did in that kitchenette, which is right next door here. This is the outside wall for the kitchenette. This will all be brushed down, cleaned up, and painted, stained, painted something to make it all one color. And I'm thinking pallet wood in here, but I'm not sure. I'd probably have to go get more. This floor has to come up because over in this area, I'm going to put a toilet. I think I'll have it facing this direction. In other words, here, tank back there, toilet seat here, and then a little sink next to it. So I've got room to open up the dryer door on this side. So there'll be a big space. Well, not that big, but there'll be a space left over here. Toilet there, sink there, dryer, washer. So that's next.